Hello and welcome back to the Lost Zone podcast. Today's episode is a little bit weird. One, I'm moving, so there's nothing behind me. Two, John isn't here. It's a very strange episode indeed. But please be patient. Everything will work out in the end, I promise. But today we have a special guest. We have Nick here. You want to say hi?
Hi, thanks for having me, Joe.
Any any
Pleasure.
anytime, bud. There was a lot that has happened this past weekend with Knoxville just passing this past weekend. Obviously, um, a lot to talk about. First off, the venue was trash. Um, it
It was
was
certainly not the best.
it was like 250 feet underground. Like 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 there were
Might be
no.
a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah.
You had to go
I had to
down.
go to the paper pairings the first few rounds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I had to go outside to get my pairings every.
Yeah, I literally, after the first few rounds, I ended up just like going upstairs after every round and chilling up there and then getting my pairing and walking back down and then going to the table.
Going
So,
upstairs was so much better because one,
yeah.
there wasn't a million people in this tiny
Right.
area. Like
Yep, yep.
like the venue I don't think was small, but I don't think that it was meant to hold that many people and
No,
take.
I'm sure it was better than Bochum.
Yeah.
They had it really rough.
I heard that OCIC was pretty rough too.
Yeah, I heard that as well,
Yeah,
yeah.
like people were like piled on top of each other. Like
Mhm.
venue size wise, it was fine. It's just like everything was all close quarters, and then like there was the no service thing. So a lot of people were having deck list issues. I know I did. But um, overall, how was your weekend? Aside from the placement wise, obviously.
Um, Other than getting top 4, it was pretty rough. Obviously, very happy about how the tournament went. Uh, but yeah, not the best
I
for
heard.
sure. I
I
kind of
heard.
just sit.
I heard a lot of
Sorry.
the city was pretty trash.
Yeah, I stayed 10 minutes outside, so literally all I did was Uber back and forth between the venue and my hotel. The hotel did have a pool, so I went swimming Friday night, so that was nice. But other than that, I kind of just, sat in the hotel room and
Yeah. Also, those
rested up.
Ubers were not cheap, man. I don't know.
It wasn't bad for me. It was only about $12 each way.
Yeah, we Ubered. We okay. So for lunch on Saturday, there was like nowhere to eat, so we walked like 12 minutes to
Mhm.
Chick-fil-A, but it was
Yeah,
pouring rain, so we didn't want to walk back, so
right.
we Ubered. It was like a $20 Uber for four
Holy
minute
shit.
drive. Yeah,
That's
it
ridiculous.
was it
Yeah.
was
Yeah, no,
rough.
getting out of the city or in was not actually bad. It was only about $12 for me to get from my hotel to the airport to the venue, sorry, and it was about 10 minutes away um on the highway. And so yeah, I ended up not going out for lunch on Saturday. I usually go for a Subway,
Yeah.
uh, but this time I just stayed inside and ate whatever snacks I had in my bag.
Yeah, I was standing in line for the coffee, like, that was, like, right up top, and then they were like, "We're going to
Mhm.
Chick-fil-A," and they dragged me with them, so I ended up going to
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A, but, yeah, I overall, I mean, the weekend was fine. It wasn't too far of a drive for me. Did you drive or fly?
I flew, yeah. I drove from Ithaca to Newark and then flew from Newark to Knoxville. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a 4-hour drive for me, so it really wasn't that bad.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I drove almost that long just to get to the airport.
Was it cheaper to fly out of, Newark than it
Oh,
was.
yeah, like 5 times cheaper,
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. Well, we can get into your tournament run now if you want to.
Sure,
Um,
yeah.
we just there was a lot of cool decks. By cool, I mean Lugia. That topped this
We
event.
actually we actually ended up only having 2 Lugia in top 8, interestingly enough. It seemed like there were a ton at the top at one point, and then I guess, they kinda fell off near the end.
Yeah, there was a lot of Azul's version of Lost Box at this event with like the whole Dragonite Sky Seal Stone.
Oh, was there? I did
Yeah,
not see a single one.
really like everybody I knew was playing that deck. Like
Oh,
yeah, there
wow.
was like a lot. But Like, I guess it didn't have like a high conversion rate. I
Yeah,
know.
obviously they ended up not doing that well.
Yeah,
But yeah, because I didn't see any. So
I know that Dylan Gunn and their group. I don't know if you know who Dylan Gunn is,
yeah, yeah,
but
I'm friends with Dylan. Yeah.
their group was on the Lost Box with the Dragonite and this guy Sealstone.
Mm,
And then like the whole Kentucky area group was too. So,
mm.
a couple of
Yeah,
them
I mean,
made
out of a room of 1,100 people, yeah,
yeah,
you might have a biased sample size, right?
yeah, for sure, yeah,
That
for
you're
sure,
projecting onto the whole tournament. If
yeah,
you know a bunch of people that are playing a deck,
yeah,
that doesn't necessarily represent the entire meta by
yeah.
any means.
I know that the meta was it was there in day two there was 42 Lugias, which is I
How
mean
many people were in day two total?
it was 126.
So about 35%
Yeah,
league, yeah.
about 35%. Yeah. Yeah, 33%.
Hmm.
Exactly. Then,
Yeah.
which it's weird that Vikavolt had a higher percentage rate in day two than Lost Box did.
Yeah, I ended up playing against two Vikavolt in day two.
Did
Yeah.
you beat both of them?
I beat one and tied one. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. With
That was
you.
scary. That matchup was scary.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure. We can
Yeah.
get into that later,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. For
But yeah.
sure. There was 11% Reggie's. Reggie's was like overall, I think, what a lot of people were talking about playing this event.
Hmm.
So I mean 11% is about what I thought it was.
Hmm.
Um there was only there was two Weezings in day two, and one
And
of
one of
them
them
got
made finals.
one of
So
them made finals. They didn't even
yeah.
okay, so on the
Unfortunately for me.
oh yeah, on the statistics, they didn't put Eternatus with Weezing. So
Oh.
so
Oh, so the other one was actually Rowan then. He played straight quad wheezing.
yeah,
Rowan
so
Stavinaugh? Yeah.
yeah, Rowan
He made day two with quad wheezing.
he did it again.
Yes. Yeah, he beat me in Toronto in day two.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Carlos got 126 with what looks like similar list. But so the fact that there's two two different archetypes when it comes to wheezing. But three Gudras, a couple Eldegoss, um, four Palkia, and one
Hmm.
pure Articuno deck. Um,
Yeah, like
yeah,
what I played to Toronto probably.
yeah, similar. It has Radiant. What's its face? The Serena, I think it is, or
Yeah. I didn't like that version as much. I prefer the Alakazam because you can always set up KOs on your turn.
yeah,
So I liked that deck. Yeah, sort of for what's it called? Toronto. I just ended up hitting a lot of weird matchups in day two. I played against Vikavolt and Weezing and stuff like that. So day two did not go well for me, but Charlie Lockyer was able to make top eight with the same list at that one.
yeah. Yeah, we can get into your run now if you want to.
Yeah, for sure.
You have the floor, buddy.
Yeah. So basically, I just ran it back with Ray and Raikou again. Changed two cards from Orlando was the previous one where I also got top four.
Hmm.
I took out the Ice Q and Wash package and just threw in a second Raikou, which was incredible, and the Temple of Sinnoh, which was pretty mediocre, but it definitely came up a few times. Um, yeah, day one went very well. Ended 8-0 and 1. Only tie was to a Reggie where they had I won game one, they won game two. Those each took 20 minutes or more, and then there was just simply not enough time left for game three.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I played against interestingly only one Lugia on day one, and this guy's list was very, very strange. He had Big Charm, Sharon's
Did you play
Care,
against Ryan Ferry?
Skyla. I believe that was the name. That one sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He's a
He
local of mine.
had Snorlax, not Snorlax, Slacking V, Path to the Peak,
Never mind, not
Cowpad,
the local of mine.
Sharon, Skyla.
Um,
whole bunch of stuff. Yeah.
That's that's
Yeah,
crazy.
I don't remember exactly if it was him or not, but that name does sound familiar, so it may have been.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was very weird. And
It's
he was like 401 or 501 at the time as well when I played him,
that's
crazily enough. So
that is crazy.
yeah, so he had the wash energy as well. But the temple never came up. I won game one because I think he only got one Archeops out, and I was just able to target it down. And then game two, uh, I had to loss zone it early, but I was still able
I
to
think
win
you
that one.
did play against him.
Actually, actually, I think game two didn't finish. I think he was gonna win game two because I had to loss zone the temple early, and then we just ran out of time.
Yeah, was he just
I think he was gonna take that one.
was he just mostly attacking with like Luminion and like Lugia? Like how
Slacking, Lugia, yeah, yeah.
yeah, he ran slacking. Yeah. This is
Yeah, so no Charizard, no Yveltal, no Raikou, none of that.
yeah, he
So
ended up getting um 34th.
not bad, not
Yeah,
bad.
not bad.
For such an interesting list. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very taken aback by that one. I was not I
Yeah.
don't think it was optimal by
Yeah,
any means, but
I think that it's very much a it was a impulse decision. Like it's like one of those things.
sure.
It's like what do? We don't want to play the same Lugia as we always do. It's like let's take out all the good
Let's switch
cards.
it up.
Let's take out
Yeah,
all the good
yeah.
cards.
I actually don't think Yveltal's like that good in the deck, honestly.
I
I feel like it's only really good against like Dura.
yeah. Also
Um,
Gudra. Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
sure. Yeah, yeah. But I feel like most games you're not using that guy.
yeah. Um,
But for a one card include, I guess it's reasonable. But if you didn't play it, you probably wouldn't have to play four Aurora, but I guess you still want them for the Raikou.
and
So
the Charizard. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So maybe you still would anyway. So he's probably worth the inclusion. I'm obviously not a Lugia expert.
At
I just
all.
like to question. I just like to question deck choices a lot, right? And I think that's how I come to often different conclusions than other people. I'll like question every card that goes into a deck
Yeah,
and
no,
see,
for sure.
do we really need this one? Can we take that out for something
Because
different?
overall, I think the Evatol is like watching people play. Like Evatol is definitely the card that gets used the least in the deck. But
Yeah,
it's like one of those decisions where it's like, okay, so if we take out Evatol, we literally can't beat Duraludon,
right.
right?
Or Gudra.
Or
You could probably
Gudra.
still beat Gudra. You could probably still beat Gudra
Yeah, I think you could beat Gudra. It'd be a lot harder, but I think you could still
for
over
sure.
time beat Gudra. But
Yeah.
it's like, do we run Evatol and like have that safety net, and we could also
Because
just
you also have to have the vacuum. Like I think it could be interesting. Say you cut Yveltal, cut the vacuums, and just like free up 3 deck spaces.
yeah cut the
I think
vacuums.
I'm giving all the Lugia players extra technology.
Yeah, actually, just run a Dreepy, man. Just at this point, just
Yeah,
start.
if
Everyone
they
needs
could
to run
fit 3
Dreepy.
extra cards, yeah.
um,
Yeah, you got to fit the bird keeper down for Dreepy.
yeah,
So.
you could run Wind Up Arm. You know
I
that
have
card,
no idea what
Wind
that
Up
does.
Arm. It's a tool card that you attach to one of your Pokemon, and it says if your Pokemon is asleep or paralyzed, you can still attack.
But Dreepy doesn't
No,
asleep or
I was
paralyze you. It
just
just
talking
says you
about
can't
like
retreat.
I wasn't talking about that. I was just talking about like you could just run that card, and then they paralyze you and you attack anyway. But
Okay, I mean, sure, fuck it.
um,
Whatever you say, Gino.
but one of the big things from your list that was missing here that you did run priorly, or prior, was Ice Q as well as the
That's
Wash
right. Yeah.
Energy.
Yep. Yep.
Was there a big reason that you cut those cards, or
Yeah. I mean, it just didn't do me anything in Orlando. I literally only won one game with it, and that was the first round of day one. Sorry, first round of day one against a Zamazenta Sky Seal Stone Lost Box, and I was bricking all of game one, and then was able to just net all my Pokemon and go lone Ice Q at the end to win that one. Um, and then game two, I was able to win just naturally.
yeah,
And then I also played against 2 other Lost Zones, one of which had Dragonite and Horn, and the other one had Horn with the Raikou Rayquaza. So I lost to the Dragonite. I ended up not going for Ice Cube because it was like the turbo build, so I could tell that he was gonna have Dragon, and he hadn't lost zoned or anything. And then game two, I was not able to set it up, but I found out he had the horn anyway, so he probably would have had it regardless.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
suppose not because they can't really efficiently one shot it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe with Snorlax, they would have to go like rope, so they would have to save 2 ropes.
Yeah, they'd have to go like double
Um,
rope. They have to go like
Snorlax or something, yeah.
horn,
Oh, they
double
don't even
rope.
play Snorlax.
Yeah.
Goon Net. They would need a lot, actually, to be fair. But yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't able to get to a position where I could set it up regardless, so it
Yeah.
didn't matter.
You just won naturally
So I
anyway.
lost that one, and then I played Aaron Tarbell in round 3 or 4, and
This was
uh,
at Orlando?
I'm talking about Orlando,
Yeah.
yes. And he had the horn. So I got to lone Ice Cube. Game 1, got horned and lost that one. Won game 2 naturally, and then we tied. So, having the Ice Cube, if anything, hurt me more than it helped
Yeah,
in
for sure.
Orlando. So I decided to cut it this time around. I was expecting Reggie, of course, but they were also running Rope Boss, right?
Yeah.
And I figured someone putting Cape, and the one I played against did have the Cape. So if they have Rope Boss and Cape, I don't think you're winning that one because they can do the loop with Cape,
Yeah.
where basically, they attach Cape to the Regieleki that gets back a trainer so that you're 3-shotting them.
And then they
they're
grab
able to
double scoop up
you
net.
get back. No, they just get back 1 net. You hit them. They get back Cape. You hit them. They attach Cape. They get back net. You hit them. They net, retreat, and do that over and over again, basically.
Yeah. And then you just
so the way you're able to break that is by attacking with like Cramorant or Sableye or Raikou. So you would hit them for 70 and then finish it with one of those attackers. But then if they have the rope and the boss, then you'll just lose to that. So
yeah,
because
for
you could
sure.
go lone Ice Cube, but not necessarily lose, but you would probably lose to the Cape Loop without any other Pokemon in play. So at San Diego, I played Ice Cube in that list, and it was really useful there because I played against I think 4 Reggies and also Blossom Mirror that didn't have Temple or Horn or anything.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I was able to do that. I wouldn't go for lone Ice Cube. I would just have Manaphy on the bench, whatever else, and you can put Air Balloon on the Ice Cube, hit, and then you knock out with Cram. Or I didn't play Raikou or Sableye. A huge mistake in San Diego. That was definitely not the way to go. So I got carried to a top 16 finish on the back of it was kind of ridiculous. Yeah, the Lugia matchup with that list was not good.
Yeah.
To say the least. I only realized it after the tournament. Luckily I only played against 3 and I was able to go 1-0-2 against them. But that matchup was not favorable by any means. I think in my testing, I had not figured out how to play Lugia properly yet, leading up to that event, because I never, intended to bring it to a tournament or anything.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any games with the deck, and I test mainly. My main method of testing is against myself, and so I like that because it lets me learn sides of the matchup and learn how to play all the decks.
Like you set up 2 decks and then you play against yourself with just
I literally just play both hands. Yep. And try to play unbiased. Like, obviously, you can never be perfect with that. Try to play as if you don't know what's in your hand.
Yeah, for sure.
And learn that way. And that's been the most effective. But yeah, I was not very good at going into that event.
Yeah, so it's hard to.
So I didn't understand how bad the matchup was for that list.
Yeah, it's hard
basically.
it's hard to play against something if you don't know how to play it in general. So
right. So then now I feel like I would be a pretty competent. But at the time, I certainly was not.
So. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, anyways, Raikou very good. Sableye, Raikou being the amazing rare one.
Yeah.
I did play Raikou V in San Diego, and it was okay, but not great by any means.
Yeah. Being one of the I would say probably top Lost Box players, are there
Yeah.
any I would say tips going into certain matchups that help you beat those matchups that other people would see as difficult? Or like
I don't.
for example, a lot of people say that Reggie's is probably favored if you don't have the ice cube going into Lost Box, right?
Reggie is favored against Lost
Yeah.
Box.
Yeah.
I wouldn't disagree if they have Cape.
Yeah.
If they don't have Cape, I think it's pretty close to 50-50, if not slightly favored.
Yeah.
Basically, the strategy into I want to preface, I don't have like great strategies going into specific matchups. I kind of just play everything by ear most. My biggest tip is to just take your time and think about
Yeah.
all your decisions.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, sure, you might time also win games, or just win 2-0. Is usually how
Yeah.
usually how it goes. Um,
Just win everything. It's like win
but
everything
yeah,
you
I mean
can.
that's towards strategy is to want to know every match, right?
Yeah.
So it obviously I'm not intentionally slow, like I'm not intentionally
No, no,
to
no, no.
cheese anyone,
No,
but
no, yeah, for sure.
just naturally taking my time in game one. Even if we play at breakneck pace, we're not going to finish when game one took 35 minutes, right?
Yeah,
So,
no, for sure.
um, but yeah, I think just improving, especially with a deck like Lost Zone, right? Something like Lugia, you could probably play at a pretty
Yeah,
quick place
pretty
and still
average place.
play
Yeah.
close to optimally. But with something like Lost Box, right, you really need to take your time and make every decision incredibly thoroughly, because if you lost out on the wrong card, it's
Yeah, it's over.
yeah, yeah. So there's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of sequencing as well. Not as much as you,
Yeah.
more than Lugia.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
And then anyway, back to the matchup. So basically, the strategy, hit with Cram early. You want to get to 10 as fast as possible, and then use Sableye to put one or two on all their guys, and then that'll set it up so that you can use Raikou to take two prizes at a time, right? So you want to go ideally for a couple Crams, one Sableye, and then two Raikous, and then you want those two Raikous to. So obviously you're going to fall behind in the prize race most likely, but you can come back with that if you want to force them early with you can do one Raikou attack early maybe to some nets, and attacking with Cram obviously it does the same. So
No, yeah, for sure.
so that's how that matchup goes. Yeah, I went 1-1. I only played against one and was able to tie it. Like I said, we just had a long game 1 and 2 and didn't have time to.
Yeah, for sure. Before we move on to another subject, were there any interesting moments from either Orlando, because they're both within like a short period of time, Orlando or
Yeah, and with the
Knoxville?
same deck basically.
Yeah, with the same deck pretty much.
No.
Anything interesting, anything exciting, any just in general fun, like memorable matches that you would want to talk about?
Yeah, I think two of my most memorable matches were Xander Perot. I played him at both events. In Orlando, he was my one loss in day 2.
Yeah.
With the Mew VMAX, he just played the matchup absolutely perfectly from what I could see. He timed every psychic leap perfectly, every dodge, every path, every lost city. And I was very impressed, with how he was able to
Yeah, for
match
sure.
up. And in that version, at that tournament, he had the Manaphy, so that made it a lot harder because I wasn't able to use Raikou to, target down to set up like a Mew and also target down a Genesect to clean up with Sableye later. So because of that, City, you basically get 2 Ray attacks, and if he's constantly leaping out of Mew VMAX, you just don't have the resources to take 6 prize cards. And yeah, he just timed everything super well.
Yeah.
So that was a very memorable match from Orlando. Also, my game in top 4 against Hedrick, of course. But let's go to the other match from
Xander.
Yeah, the one in Knoxville was
You
not
beat him,
quite as
right?
memorable.
Did you beat him?
Yeah,
in
I did
Knoxville?
win in Knox. Game one, I made a very stupid mistake. I think I had a good chance in that one, but I used Sableye to put 5 um, on each of his Genesect,
Mhm.
and then 1 on each of the Mews because with Oricorio, you need 1 damage on the Mew, so you only need 4 energy. And so I assumed that if I put 5 on Genesect and then do 12, that's enough. And that is not a knockout.
Yeah, no.
So I should have put 10 on one Genesect and 1
Two.
on each of the Mews.
Oh,
But
one on each of the Mews.
so I messed up that one pretty royally in game 1. And then games 2
Did
and
that
3, I
come
think
back to bite you? Did you lose that matchup, that round?
I lost that game.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
that game
It
might
was
bite.
gonna be close. It was gonna be close if I didn't that mistake. I needed to draw the my fighting energy off of the prize because I had to lost zone 1 off raw flower selecting before a deck search. Because I think my opening hand was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Didn't have VIP pass or quick ball or anything. And so I ended up lost zoning one of the fightings, and the other one ended up being. And so I did draw it off of the 2 prize cards on Genesect illegally because I
Yeah.
thought it was a knockout. Right?
Yeah.
And so I just scooped that one up as soon as he said that's not a knockout.
Oh yeah.
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 Even
My bad.
without the DPL, that would have incurred at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you would have lost even if you got the DPL. So it's just like you might as well pick it up and go to game 2.
Even if I didn't get a DPL.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I obviously would have anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
But but I did draw the fighting energy, so I think I had a chance.
If you would have done it correctly, yeah.
The point being, if I had set up the first Sableye to then knock out Genesect with the second Sableye, I would have had a good shot in that game. And then game 2, I think was pretty good. And game 3, I remember him bricking and me racing just to win the game, and ended up doing so on turn 3 of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a super long game 1 that he ended up winning. Again, the matchup is super intricate if a new player knows what they're doing. If they don't, it's pretty free, which is all of my other opponents except Xander.
Yeah.
That played Mew. I played against 2 other Mews in day 1 at
Earlier rounds of the tournament.
At Knoxville, yes.
Yeah.
And I played against 1 or 2 in other than Xander.
Yeah.
And those were relatively straightforward, if they just leave the Mew in the active, blow it up and take 3 prizes.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of opponents will do. That's what a lot of but yeah, Xander played it perfectly. And then all of my matches against Hedrick were very memorable as well. I think you can see, all those on stream except for from Knoxville, because that was round 1 of day 2 before they started streaming. Basically, in that one, he was able to outplay me. I used up all of my scoop up nets early, trying to accelerate my lost zone count, and I think I should have taken it slower, played it more conservative, because what he was able to do was continuously alternate between attacking with Charizard, retreating into Minion, Aqua Return, send back up Charizard. And my deck does not have a good answer to Charizard. Right. You would have to burn 3 energy on Rayquaza to knock it out. And I think he had Manaphy in play as well. So basically I wasn't able to get Sableye down. Maybe he didn't, actually. But I wasn't able to get Sableye or Raikou down. I basically benchmarked myself by playing all 4 of my scoop up nets early. And that kind of screwed me out of it. He kind of went just like capture energy past. And I decided to play around Marnie by using all my nets. But I should have known, he's probably going to have to research to dig for the double RPL. So, which was true. He did have Marnie in research. He chose research because otherwise he would have only gotten 1 in the discard and then had to draw the second one in a quick ball or whatever off of the Marnie.
Yeah,
which is not not that likely off of.
Yeah.
There's definitely a good chance that you whiff.
A lot of the times when people play the Marnie, like the first turn of the game, they end up whiffing the second Archeops. It's more than likely.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of research in Lugia because of that. Again, take everything I say with a grain of salt.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we can move on to talking about a couple announcements that we've gotten over the past couple days. First off, we got the World's dates. I don't know if you saw
very
that.
excited about that one. I finally get to look at booking flights. I've been waiting to do that for a while.
Yeah, it's
my invite back in. Did I have it at? I think I got it at San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a
looking
good couple months. We also just got the internets, the NAIC dates too, so like all within a couple weeks of each other. So
Oh, did we? I didn't see that one.
Yeah, NAIC is confirmed Columbus, and we got the dates for it again.
Okay. I mean, I knew obviously it was going to be Columbus. I didn't know what day is it.
Let me check that out. It's late June, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I guess that's when it usually is. Actually, I'm thinking of like Nats. I've only played one NAIC. You know, back in the day, Nats used to always be like July 4th weekend.
Yeah, it is. I swear it's been posted. Hold on. Yeah. It is Columbus, Ohio, June 30th through July 2nd.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then Worlds is August. We got
11th.
August 11th. Yeah, through the 13th.
Yeah, that should work out better than last year.
Last year was
from
late,
London,
right?
I had to drop from the Open because my flight was Sunday morning to get back to school because I had school Monday right after first day of classes.
Really?
So I had to drop from the Open, but this time it's earlier. That shouldn't be an issue. Should work out better.
I mean, you're not even going to go to the Open, you know why? Because you're going to win the tournament. It doesn't even. Yeah, there's no reason to go to the Open.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, no, for sure. That was released, so if you were looking for the dates for Worlds, that's there. We've got a few new cards. I don't know if you've been looking into anything with post format, like post rotation.
Not in particular. I'm just excited to play Tina.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, no, Tina's like the best deck next format.
Yeah, it's what it seems like.
Yeah,
and Lugia.
There's just nothing to stop it. Like we lose Parasol, we lose Wash Energy. Like there's nothing to stop one Sableye and two Tina. So it's like the best deck in format will probably just be Lost Box for a long time. But
yeah, I saw there was a Kyogre in Yokohama, right?
A what?
A Kyogre, not Aichi. I don't know. It's the Champions League.
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe Kyogre won.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that on.
Oh, and you don't even have to deal with Stoutland anymore. That's so broken. That's insane.
Yeah.
And they can't net their. That's good.
So
and there's no
somehow Lugia. Okay.
Yeah, they're playing the Lugia with the Single Strike now. I saw that's doing decently well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any new cards, particularly not Comfy, sorry, Klefki and the Miraidon.
Yeah. Gardevoir got second.
That, oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's I'm
surprised by that because I thought Gardevoir was that great.
It has a really good. It's got like a really good ability, but
of course,
like
yeah. I just thought the attack was underway.
I actually have no idea how this did well, to be honest with you. So, like,
what's in it?
So it's 3 Ralts, 4 Ralts, 4 Curlia, 3 of the Refinement one of the Mirage Step, where it's like search your deck for. It's the
like Frogadier.
Yeah, it's the Frogadier. So 3 Shining Arcana Gardevoirs.
What does that do?
Once during your turn, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck, attach any number of basic energy cards you find there, and put them onto your Pokemon in any way you like.
Interesting. Okay.
And then its attack is Brainwave for 60. This does 30 more damage for each psychic attached to this Pokemon. So I guess
How
there's
much?
60 plus 30. Yeah.
So I don't think you're attacking with that one.
No, no. That's why I'm confused. So it runs 2 Gardevoir EX,
Yeah.
1 Zacian
That
V.
one's big though, right? The Gardevoir EX is like 310 or something.
Yeah, it's
right?
like it's 310, but it only does
So
190.
that's pretty bulky.
Yeah,
Okay.
it does 190, and then
So what are they attacking with?
I guess they're attacking with Zacian V. So like Zacian V with the Roar of the Sword, it does 60. I guess it does 60 plus 30 for every psychic energy attack.
So the same as the freaking guy. So
and
I guess you.
The guy also ran the 1 Mew from Celebrations.
Seems fine.
One Cresselia with Moon Glow Reverse from Lost Origin.
Doesn't that one like accelerate? It's like the
other
fire
one
guy.
Like Volcanion? No,
Yeah, it's like
that's the other
right?
Cresselia. That's a good Cresselia.
This is a different one?
Yeah, it says move 2 damage counters from each of your Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon.
Oh, that's broken.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Damage. That card's pretty good.
Yeah.
You like do 2, 2, 2, 2, and just,
yeah, you just
shove them all on that.
Yeah, you shove them all.
Okay, that one sounds kind of good.
It does sound kind of good, yeah. And then we've got Radiant Greninja in here as well.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, so 3 Judge, 1 Serena, and then this new card called Miram. It says Miriama. I don't know.
Miriam?
Yeah, something like that. She's it says choose up to 5 Pokemon cards from your discard pile and shuffle them into your deck, then draw 3 cards.
No, that's not bad at all.
No,
that's a pretty good supporter.
That's pretty good. And then Arven, which is search your deck for an item
like,
and a tool.
What's it called? We used to have Sacred Fire or whatever it was called.
This also runs Emergency Jelly.
So it's that plus draw.
I don't know why this runs Emergency Jelly, but
Emergency Jelly. All right, interesting.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. But then Gardevoir got second.
And that got second.
Yeah.
This deck is not sounding that great to me.
there was 3,140 players, and that got second.
That's insane.
I
don't know. I'm not.
It also got 7th. But this one
a similar list, or
so it runs. Okay, so 4 Ralts, 4 Kirlia, 2 Gardevoir with Shining, and then 2 Gardevoir EX. But it runs a Gallade with Buddy Catch. I don't know if you know what that does.
It's just like search for a supporter, right?
Yeah, and put it on.
That one sounds good, yeah.
Yeah, put it into your hand. They also ran Zacian V, but they ran Galarian Articuno. The one
that's like a snipe?
Yeah, so it's discard all energy attached from this Pokemon. This attack does 120 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon.
It's fine, I guess.
But that's all they run to attack with. Like, how did this do well? How does this
I don't know. Maybe they're just swinging with the guard. Because
Gardevoir EX's attack
is 310. And you can't choice belt.
Yeah,
I guess.
So it does 310, and then this attack
Seems
does
so mid.
Yeah, I don't even know. Because it does 190, and then this Pokemon recovers from all special conditions. But
it seems so mediocre.
Yeah, I don't know.
How does this beat Tina ever?
I don't know.
Don't they just like Sableye, kill all your routes, like flip their V-Star, knock out your EX? What are you doing?
Yeah. I have no idea, dude. Mew got 4th.
Okay.
And then
Mew seems solid.
Yeah, Mew's solid. There was
that.
In top 16, there were 4 Lugias somehow. Like
because they're running the single strike.
I don't think that's good. I think it, but they're not even
decent at least.
This one's not even running like it's just running Tyranitar.
He's pretty powerful, right? What did he do? Like 230?
240. Discard the top 4 cards of your discard the top 4 cards of your deck.
240 is strong with powerful single strike energy.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah, he just one shots everything.
That's kind of strong.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, and then
I don't know. I'm probably gonna be playing Tina.
Yeah, Tina's good. But yeah, it looks like just like a copy of our last format plus two. I have no idea how Gardevoir top decks. But like
Wins games.
those those decks don't
It's
even
probably like the new Greninja. You're not
like
even doing anything special. You're not even like ability.
it just doesn't make sense how like the Cresselia's cool. That's super cool. But
Yeah, that seems cool. But like other than that, it's like okay, 190. I don't know. How is Lugia not just like blowing you up?
yeah, how are
I
you
guess that way. I guess they cap that. So if you put 4 single strike energy on this Tyranitar, that's 320 though. How are you dealing with that? That's gonna sweep your whole freaking board.
yeah,
Like what?
they're just like knockout and then they're like discard 4 cards and they're like they won't do that again. And then they do it again. Yeah, they're just gonna keep going. And the first attack on
And you can
Tyranitar.
get them back too, right? Because you have the recycler.
Yeah,
You have special charge for single strike.
yeah, and then there's
Yeah, how are you beating that?
yeah. They're running
How are you beating Tina going 280, Sableye finish you off, kill some Ralph?
this
Like,
one ran Radiant Serena. I don't understand it, but it was running Radiant
I mean,
Serena.
sure, because you just heal the
Yeah.
damage you put on, I guess.
But
Whatever.
Tyranitar doesn't put any damage.
No, I'm talking about like your ability. Because it puts 2 damage to accelerate an energy. The Gardevoir EX.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the Lugia was running Radiant Serena.
What?
Yeah, the Lugia.
Why?
So there were 4 Lugia, 4 Archeops, 2 Tyranitar, 2 Stonejourner, the one that's the single strike one.
Sure.
2 Lumineon, 1 Drapion, 1 Radiant Serena, a
I
Pumpkaboo, and
don't
a
get that.
Dunsparce.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The only thing that's not making sense is Serena. Why not play like Greninja?
What does this stadium do? Megazona.
Like there has to be something better.
Meza Agoza. Once during your turn, each player, they may flip a coin. If heads, they search your deck for a Pokemon and put it in their hand.
Okay, so like scuffed Battle City.
Yeah. it seems very Lugia is like
Seems better.
doing everything it can to survive. It's running 2 V-Guard, 2 Lucky, and 2 Gift. It's doing everything it can to survive. Overall,
maybe you could play a version with like Share Care, you know?
yeah, maybe. I don't know. There's a lot that
Sharon's Care.
there's a lot that
I
you
feel
can
like that
do.
could be decent.
Yeah.
I
They're
don't
running
understand this Radiant Serena.
yeah.
Whatever.
That one plays the highest too.
Yeah, because when you initially said Radiant, I thought you were talking about in Gardevoir. I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. I think Greninja is probably still better. You know, at least there's some synergy there.
Yeah. But that doesn't even make sense at all. I wonder how the
No.
Mew lists are looking. Are they just
It's pretty much the same.
It's
like,
Mew
they didn't lose
Meloetta now.
anything. Oh really? I
Yeah.
thought DTE was.
Well-
I thought DTE won like in Singapore.
The highest placing Mew was running 1 Meloetta, but 4
Interesting.
Fusion Strike energy.
Interesting.
Yeah. But they were running 3 Path. I guess I saw that
Huh.
Reggie's one. I also saw that Japan is still
Did you
having
see the
expanded.
expanded
I was
one?
about to say, dude.
The Lugia list for that
Dude.
looks absolutely insane. They
Dude.
play Wally.
Well, let me grab
Battle
this. Japan
Compressor?
expanded, right?
So
Apply
they can
selection.
go. Yeah, I was looking at this one. It looks absolutely bonkers.
Was
They
it
go
on
Wally,
Limitless?
No, I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw your Twitter. Yeah, I saw. Here.
I think I retweeted it and I was like, thank goodness expanded events. Like this is absolutely bonkers. Yeah, so they have Wally, Battle Compressor away to Archeops. Just get them back. And then you can run 4 special charge. And then you have, so you play Dragon Attacker and Double Dragon Energy. So you can like GGN, GX turn.
Yeah, I saw
or,
that.
Like, yeah, it's ludicrous.
I
don't know why they don't play powerful energy. I saw they just played like 4 DTE, 4 Double Dragon, 2 card. I think it could be interesting to play powerful still, like and Stoutland even maybe.
They were
like,
running,
especially since you can recover them.
Yeah, I'll see if I
It was
can.
4 DTE, 4 Double Dragon.
Yeah,
And 2 V Guard, I believe.
4 GT, 4 Double Dragon, 2 V Guard. Yeah, they were running 3 Lugia. They were only running 3 Archeops.
That's fine. You have compressor.
Yeah, it's fine. That's so broken. That's so nuts. And like you go second with this deck, right?
Exactly, and then just turn one
You just go Lele for
compressor.
Wally, evolve, compressor, get double
Compressor.
Archeos out,
Yeah,
GG end turn 1.
whatever. Yeah, or just attack with Lugia, whatever.
Yeah.
You probably don't. You probably honestly GGN turn like unless like they go draw pass, you know,
Yeah.
because it only discards like 2, right? So if they get 3 Pokemon, doing anything unless they like had a really good turn powered up bunch of guys, but
Yeah, I couldn't
I guess if
imagine.
you discard their own win.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like if they go
In the mirror,
if they go first, right? And then like they like
they're
bench
like Lugia
like
pass.
yeah, they go like Lugia pass or they go it also ran Naganadel Guzzlord GX. Like the tag team.
Seems
so.
okay.
I don't even
It
remember
lets
what
you,
that
like, take
card.
2 prizes, right?
Let me
The
see.
GX attack is like take 2 prizes.
Oh,
So these guys are playing with like a V and a GX. That's just silly.
Dude, they've got like 2 markers on their side. They're like,
And they can have a Prism Star and a Radiant and a Spec and all.
okay,
Yeah.
so it says once during your turn, you may
crazy.
you may discard a Pokemon from your hand. If you do, heal 60, Jet Pierce for 180, and then turn all of your prize cards face up. If this Pokemon has at least 1 extra Psychic and 1 extra Dark attached to it, take 2 prizes of your choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that card's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
It's pretty alright.
Yeah, it's pretty alright.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't Stout in power. I think that would be really good. Because imagine like you can do what 120.
Yeah. Also,
I guess Shaman's not in anymore.
Also, what I
That would
find
be
is really
crazy.
funny is that this version of the list was running the get lost giraffe rig, right? So
For
you
control or
no
something.
no, so you go second, right? Right.
Oh, when you get lost there,
They battle compressor their Archeops in. They can't play Wally, and you
like,
just go put it in the lost zone. Dude,
that's insane.
I
Yeah, so you can either GGN and get rid of lost zone their Archeops. Just call
yeah, because they're gonna choose. I mean, I don't know, dude. They're gonna like you. It's roll for
you definitely
flips.
choose second, 100%.
It's like you roll for flips in standard, and you're like, you go first, cool, you win the game. It's like
This one you go second, it's over.
you go second, the game ends turn 1. Dude,
That's
I
so
couldn't play
stupid.
expanded right now, dude.
I want to like build this deck and just play hands. You know, like just when I'm like bored.
I feel like with
Thinking
Lugia,
about
there are
homework
so many cool combinations that you could do.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I'm gonna actually like proxy that deck out and just like play hands with it just to see if how often I can hit turn double arc.
I think it's like, yeah, if Shaman wasn't banned, it's happening every time. It's happening every time, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
how much bench space do you have then? Because you need the Lugia, you need the 2 Archeops.
It's running Silent Lab too.
I think I assumed that was what made the most sense to me. Does that make sense to you?
It was for what?
Shut off Wobbuffet.
Oh yeah, for sure. Wobbuffet, yeah, would probably be problematic.
Yeah, that's what I assumed that was for, and then just like generally to shut off other like, you know, basic abilities, whatever, other Dedenne, Crobat.
This is gonna be fun. You were telling me that you haven't really looked at any of the new cards.
No, not really. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure the base set Scarlet and Violet is like the Regieleki with the Miraidon, and then so I mean I know about those, but like,
you know about the tool card, the item card that lets you look at the top 6, grab any 2 electric energies you find there, and attach it.
Yeah.
So we got,
and now tools are items.
So
take some good energies too.
So we got all 3 of the starters as EXs. Have you seen any of those?
I think I remember reading that. I don't remember being okay, but not great.
So, let me see if I can pull it up. I know that the Skeledirge is probably the best of them.
Okay.
Skeledirge, for the first attack, It has 340 HP. Okay.
That's pretty nice.
For the
Yeah.
first attack, it does 70 and heals 30 from all of your Pokemon.
Okay. For one
So
energy.
for 1 energy. And then
Yeah,
for
you
the
could definitely make like a tank thing out of
yeah.
that, right?
So like the
Yeah.
logic is that with that you can steam up with the Rapidash, and you can one-shot stabilize and Comfees.
Okay. What
So
is
the
the
second
problem is you're
attack,
probably getting for stage 2 and they're just gonna kill all your basics and then
yeah,
V-Star your one EX that you get out, right? So it's probably still bad.
yeah.
What is the second?
The second attack does 270 damage for 2 fire energy.
Okay, that
Yeah,
sounds pretty good.
yeah, but it says that it takes less
It's like
damage.
minus, right?
It's minus for every damage counter on it.
Mm.
But
Okay, got it.
so there's a new Armor Rouge in the first set of this thing that lets you move around kind of like Bronzong does.
And it's a stage 1?
It's a stage 1, yeah.
Okay, so that sounds wonderful in theory.
Yeah, it sounds
Say,
great.
like Cheryl, yeah, so you get out your stage 2 and then your stage 1 and then your other stage 1, right? And then you could, play Cheryl and then move the energy back on, swing for like 300. In
Yeah,
theory, sounds lovely. Yeah.
yeah,
Getting out of stage 2 and 2 stage 1s to do all that.
yeah,
And playing Cheryl as your supporter. So I don't know.
yeah.
When
The list
Tina is gonna go, okay, Sableye, knock out all your basics, and then when you do finally get an EX out, flip the V-Star counter and take that one out too. So
yeah,
doesn't sound great.
yeah, and then there's Oinkologne. Do you know what Oinkologne does?
To me?
Oinkologne, is the pig. The first attack, people are like saying this is good. It was doing good in Japan. Let me pull up the
Okay.
translation.
But not at the Champions League though.
I don't think so. It's there's also the Banette EX that's got.
All right, read me Oinkologne.
I got you. Okay, Oinkologne, Fragrance for Fury, 10 plus 10 damage. This attack does 30 more for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Right, for 1.
Okay, that's pretty solid for 1 energy.
Yeah. And so like what people were playing it with was like you run it with Sharon's Care, and you run it with
Okay.
the V-Guard energy and the helmet full face guard, because it doesn't have an ability.
Okay.
So it doesn't get one shot by anything. So you do like 130 and then you pick it up, swap to a different pig, and then hit again.
And what's the second attack?
The second attack for 3 colorless, heavy stamp, 210, flip a coin if heads. This Pokemon can't attack during your next turn.
So why is this ever better than Arceus?
I mean, it's a 1 energy attack. I mean, I guess it does.
Sure, but if I'm chaining Arceus, like, can't I do the same thing, but I'm dealing 2 damage?
That's fair, yeah. I mean, I didn't think it was that good. I just saw that it was doing okay in Japan. We got Toxicroak EX. That one's bad. I ain't even going to read it.
Sorry, I need to plug my phone in.
No, you're good. Have
That
you
might mess this. Or we could just call it soon. It's
Yeah,
been
it's
going
fine.
for a while already. I have
That's fine.
10%. We have,
Yeah, we got a good amount of time.
10 or 20
Yeah, we
more
can
minutes,
we'll talk about the last few cards here. There was a couple released today, or the other day, which were Clodsire EX, and Dedenne EX.
What was the what were the other ones from the base set?
So the base set had Gardevoir, has Gyarados EX.
So what about the other two? What about the other 2 starters?
The other 2 starters were Meowscarada. The ability says discard a grass energy from your hand. You can put 2 damage counters on any of your opponent's bench Pokemon, I think it was, or any of your opponent's Pokemon.
So worse Decidueye.
Yeah. And then
but worse.
Yeah. And then the second attack for 2 colorless does 100, and if it has damage counters already on it, it does 120 more.
So 220 for DT is good. It's decent. Doesn't like Samurott.
Yeah, I think it's like just kind of worse Samurott, to be honest.
Because it's a stage 2. Yeah, you can use double.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't Samurott 220 they have damage? And that card's dog shit.
Yeah, it's mediocre at best. It was like okay when it first came out.
Was it actually though? I
No,
don't think.
no, no, no. It wasn't. And then
People thought it was mediocre,
yeah,
which means it's terrible.
yeah, facts. And then Quake. I don't know how to pronounce the duck.
I don't
Quavel.
either.
It's the dancing duck Pokemon that nobody fucking likes. It's got exciting Samba on the first one. Switches Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. Then your opponent switches their active with their benched.
Is that an ability?
It's an attack for
Does it
60.
do damage
Yeah, 60.
for 1?
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
And then second attack is 230. Corkscrew shot for a grass and a colorless. And it says
Grass.
water. That was a grass. It does 230 and then put 2 energy from this Pokemon back into your hand.
That seems pretty bad.
Yeah. they're all pretty bad. The only EX that I think looks good that's not like Gardevoir or like
Miraidon.
Miraidon. Yeah. Those two
you can utilize the Regieleki VMAX.
Yeah. And then you could also do like the Flaffy.
Klefki.
You could do the Klefki. You
Oh,
could
I
do
was thinking just Klefki.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Raikou V. So you use Miraidon to set up your Regieleki VMAX, and then you kind of just attack with Raikou V, probably. Sky Seal Stone and all. That deck seems pretty solid.
But all of the terrestrials so far seem really bad.
Yeah, they could have done so much better. Like, they could have made them like, you can change this Pokemon's type once per turn. Something. Like, something cool like that.
It would make or like give them like an item that could attach to them that could change their typing.
And it turns it into whatever color you want. Yeah. Make like 10
it's not that hard. It's
We
or give them like
2 better ideas right there. Yeah.
Give them like a special energy. Yeah, give them like do different special energies that can only be attached to terrestrial Pokemon, right?
And if it's attached, it becomes that type.
Yeah, it becomes that type.
Exactly.
Hey, it's super easy.
Yeah.
But instead, they're like, this Pokemon doesn't take any damage from attacks while on the bench. Like, cool.
Okay.
Just throw away the coolest mechanic you've ever had. Like,
yeah.
But the only
such a pun.
The only Pokemon that I think actually looks good and looks like it could do something with Gardevoir is the Dene EX that just came out. It's a terrestrial.
So that's gonna be the second set, right?
Yes, this is from Triple Beat.
Sure.
It's the terrestrial Dedenne EX. It's
so no bench damage.
No bench damage. That's important.
That's just all of them.
Yeah, but
they didn't even like give it different like agent. It's like they just made them all the same.
They're all the same.
They could have like added bare minimum different ancient traits, right? Like that's so disappointing.
But this one looks okay because its first attack says move all damage counters from one of your bench Pokemon to your opponent's active. Right, for 2 psychic energy. For 2 psychic.
How much health does it have?
170.
That's pretty bad.
But I saw people talking about it where like you charge it all up to like a Gardevoir who has 310.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you attack with the Dedenne, take the 310, swap it to your opponent's
you heal your Gardevoir. Then you're leaving a 170 HP 2 prize in the active. Yeah. That doesn't seem great to me.
Yeah, no.
I don't know about that
they're
one.
all just kind of bad. Like, to be honest, Clodsire EX is like the last one we'll probably talk about, and then this stadium is pretty cool. But so we got Paldean Clodsire EX, ability Poison Bog. Once during your turn, if there's a stadium in play, you may leave your opponent's active Pokemon poisoned.
This is what stage? It's
a stage 1. It evolves from Wooper.
It's like the Wooper.
Yeah. And then Needle Bone for dark, colorless, 200 damage. If they've done this like with 3 EXs, flip a coin if tails, this Pokemon can't attack next turn.
How much damage?
200.
For 3 energy?
Yeah.
That's terrible. Why would you ever play that
Yeah,
over?
that's so bad. It's like these
Yeah.
are
Why
so
would
bad.
you ever play that instead?
This stadium is
Yeah.
cool.
Okay. I was gonna say I was very disappointed in the video game. I had my whoop, and I was like, oh, this is gonna evolve because I didn't look up animations or anything
Yeah.
before I started playing the game. And when that thing evolved, I was very. I thought they were gonna. I thought it was gonna be so cool,
It's just like
and then
this
it's just like
flat.
it's just a blob. I
Yeah.
was like, that's. I immediately removed it from
we got a
0 out of 10.
we got a new boss's order, which is Getsus.
Yeah, that one was cool. I was a little
Yeah,
there for
and
that.
then
That one looked really nice.
we got Lazon Studio. The attacks of each player's stage 1 evolutions do 10 more damage to your opponent's active.
Might be relevant for some
Yeah. Yeah, it might be.
sometime
Yeah,
in the
it's like
future. Who
it's
knows?
like the only cool
Sounds
thing.
pretty underwhelming.
Yeah.
Play Vitality.
It's like every card
Oh,
that
that's probably rotating.
yeah. It's like every single card that comes out from these sets has been terrible.
Yeah.
It's I mean like I guess we also have
I
like
think they're trying to anti-power
yeah.
versus the power,
Yeah,
which is gonna they tried to do that before with Sun and Moon, right? Like
yeah.
at first. Well, that didn't work out with Garbodor and Grandpa. Anyway, they tried.
Yeah.
They tried.
They definitely did try.
Yeah,
But
they're definitely trying to slow down the power. It seems, but then you're gonna lead to a weird, not even weird necessarily, just like which is kind of what we have now, but the old energy.
Yeah.
And yeah, and amazing rares. But,
yeah. Sadly,
yeah.
amazing
but
rares
but the new engines, right? The engines.
The Reveroom is pretty good too. I don't know if you know about that.
I do not.
The Reveroom, I'm pretty sure. Let me pull it up. This will be the last card I pull up. But it's got like a draw ability, so it's like a little bit better than B-Barrel. It's got
it's a stage 1.
Yeah, it's a stage 1. So its ability says when you discard, you can discard a card from your hand, I'm pretty sure. I'm getting to it right now. And then
draw 3?
Yeah. So
2?
once you must discard an energy from your hand in order to use this ability.
An energy.
Once during your turn, you may draw till you have 6 cards in your hand.
Draw until you have 6. Depending on the deck.
Yeah.
It might be a bit better. Definitely depends on the deck.
Yeah. There's also like a little there's a card that says when you put it onto your bench, once during your turn, you can, or like when it's on your bench, once during your turn, you may shuffle your hand and put it on the bottom of your deck and then draw 1 card. So like, it's a Scovit. It's like put your hand on the bottom of your deck.
It's a basic.
Yeah. So
why would I want to put my hand on the bottom of my deck?
So like, if you have like a bad
mustard,
I don't know, maybe like you could draw.
But then my 1 card has to be mustard, and I can't even guru the mustard on top.
Yeah. So it's like
if you could guru the mustard on top, and that could.
Yeah.
No.
So it's like, so I saw this in a list that was like it was running like B-Barrel. So like they were designating 2 of their bench spots to like B-Barrel Scovit, and
if
so they were
like, if you have like a clogged hand,
yeah,
I get it, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just play my choruses. It's fine.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for popping by today. We'll probably cut this here because it's been a long episode actually. I appreciate you coming by.
Yeah.
Is there any closing thoughts? Anybody you wanna shout out? Anybody like that?
Just thanks for having me, Joe. It was a great time. You can message me if you want coaching, either on Twitter or Facebook Messenger or anything like that. My rate's $30 an hour.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So if you're interested, just reach out.
Yeah, you can. I'll link his Twitter in the bio.
Yeah, that would be great.
You can reach out on Twitter. I can. Do you have like Metafy?
I do not know. I should maybe look into that.
Yeah.
But they're also charging coaches 15. So
They're charging what?
they're also charging coaches 15%. So
That's kind of rough.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'll link his Twitter down below. So if anybody needs coaching or wants to get some for the upcoming events, go ahead and hit my boy up. That link will be down in the bio. Thank you guys for popping by. If you listen to this on Spotify, go ahead and give us a rating depending on how you liked it. If you watch it on YouTube, leave a comment. Let me know who you'd like to see next, or just general topics or things you want to talk about. Thank you guys. See you guys next time.